Hello, and welcome to this installment of Best Practices with RemanResource and EasyOrder. Today's topic is going to discuss purchasers for your particular customers and how to set those up. While this is not particularly a new feature within the system, it's often one that can be a little bit difficult to understand, and I want to make sure that everybody's very clear on how to use this because it's a very powerful tool in setting up the EasyOrder accounts to be as simple and seamless for your customers, especially those that are larger with multiple levels of purchasers or multiple locations as possible. So just a little bit of background of what the purchasers and the purpose behind it is that if you have a customer that has, let's say, 10 locations and they have 2 purchasing managers that oversee those 10 locations, maybe 5 apiece, and each of the 10 locations has an individual ordering personnel at that location, you have the ability to go in and make that process very simple for them. Whereas currently they may require emails to be sent or phone calls to be made or a hybrid of all of the above in order to get a hold of each other and say, hey, Joe at location 1 needs to place an order, so on and so forth. You have the ability to go in and say, hey, let me automate this entire process for you. As soon as Joe at location 1 places an order, Mary, the purchasing manager for that particular location, will get an email stating, hey, Joe's placed an order. Please click here to view the order and accept it or reject it if he's outside his bounds. But the bottom line is you have the ability with EasyOrder to automate and streamline that entire process for them by making an automatic email chain. Nobody has to do anything out of their way. It makes their course of business that much easier. So in order to set something like this up, if we go into the Manage Customers section, and if you go into any given customer, let's go into Acme. If you go into the Purchasers section, right here, the little people icon right next to the globe icon where you normally go to access order forms, if you go into the Purchasers section, you'll see you enter Manage Purchasers. To create a new purchaser, you'll click this New button. Within here, you're going to specify a username. Let's just call this Acme number 1. The password is system generated. You can always change that to whatever you'd like it to be if you prefer. And name and email address. Phone number is optional. Now, when you get over to this next side of the right-hand side of the screen, this is where you can set up approval process for any given approver or purchaser that you are creating. Note that as a default, the enabled boxes are unchecked and the approval level is set to no approval. If you want to set somebody up so that they have access and oversight over an account, but they don't have to actually approve the order, all you need to do is click Enabled to give them access or oversight to that particular form, and then click Save. In this instance, when anybody at these 2 locations, Acme and then Allstate Insurance, if either one of those places an order, this person, Joe, is going to get copied on the order, so he's kept in the loop, but he's not going to have to approve it. So this is the way that you can come in here and add an additional purchaser to this account. Furthermore, Joe would be able to go in and place an order on this particular order form if he needed access to it. So essentially, when you're setting it up with no approval, the 2 different personnel are on the same level in terms of hierarchy. Bob and Karen have their ordering abilities, as would Joe, if no approval is chosen here. If in the case Joe was a manager for both Bob and Karen and their respective order forms, you could change this to level 1. If you change this to level 1, anytime Bob or Karen places an order, Joe is going to get an email notifying him that an order has been placed by one of these 2 locations. He's going to have a link in that email to take a look at that order, and at the top of the order, there's going to be a button for him to either approve or reject that order. Upon approving that order, Bob or Karen, whoever placed the order, as well as you as the subscriber, the recipient of the order, the retailer, are going to get a notification via email that this order has been fully approved and is ready for processing and shipping. So Joe would then be the determining factor of if that order goes forward. Now you as the subscriber will also get an email in the interim stating that the order has been placed but is pending approval, thereby waiting for Joe's approval. So that's what level 1 is. And sometimes people get confused by the fact that this goes all the way up to level 9. If you already had someone that's a level 1, Joe, let's say for instance you had another layer of approval and maybe Larry needs to approve beyond Joe. You would then save Joe as a level 1. You would go back in here, create a new purchaser named Larry, and he would get enabled for both these order forms he needs to oversee, and then he would be set up as a level 2. In this instance, when Bob or Karen places an order, it would go to Joe. Joe would need to approve it. Upon being approved, it would then go to Larry, who would then need to approve or deny. And then once it's fully approved, everybody along the chain of command would be notified of such. Now, we have this set up to go all the way up to level 9. I've never seen anybody get that detailed, but if you have a customer that is that in depth, it's there for you. Hopefully that all makes sense. If it doesn't, you can always call us. We're happy to help you go through and set up a demo account. If you have a customer that has a situation where they would definitely benefit from this purchasing option that's available within EasyOrder, give us a shout. We'll help you set up a demo account. You could go in there, pitch it to them perfectly the first time, and it should be a home run for you. Now, in the case that maybe Larry oversees only one of these 2 accounts, you can always just uncheck the enabled box, and in this case, he would only be overseeing Bob. So again, to add these purchasers, you can go into Manage Customers, click on the Purchasers button, and then once you've created a purchaser, in this case Joe that we talked about, that was going to oversee and need to approve the orders for Bob and Karen, to send Joe his own desktop icon, you can put a check mark next to his name and click email and send him a welcome email, just like any other time you'd send a welcome email to a normal customer. The difference in this case, if they have access to multiple order forms, when they click their welcome email, they're going to see a list of order forms as opposed to just the single one. But again, very simple process to set up purchasers and allow you the ability to simplify and streamline a process that is often cumbersome for larger customers. Again, if you guys have any questions, you want assistance setting up a demo account, please let us know. Support at RemanResource.com, 800-640-1160 is our direct line, and have a wonderful day. Thanks for your time.